Okay, the next thing I want to do is to start a brand new program. So I hit File and then New File, and it opens up a brand new window. You can leave the old one open for reference if you're not too sure how to do certain commands. And this one here, I'm going to resave it, so File, Save As, so it gives a brand new name. It's not untitled anymore. And I shall call this in the right place in my passport folder. There's the About Me program already there. I'm going to call this Fruit. It's all about fruit, this one. So, there's a few things I want to do. I want to create a multi-line comment, and inside the multi-line comment, I'm going to say what I'm going to do. So I'm going to call this thing Fruit Calculator. Calculator. There you go. And the first thing I want to do is, I want to deal with different types of fruit, including apples and pears. So set the number of apples used. So I'll put a line of code in there that will basically assign a value to the number of apples. That's the first thing I want to do. So what I'll do is I'll do these lines as we go along. I need the variable for apples. I need to assign a value. The value will be a number because the apples, I'm not going to say they're not decimal, they're not floating points, they're probably integers. So I apples equals, and give it a value. Let's pretend I've got 5 apples. So that first line basically sort of says that. Next thing I'll do is set the number of pears used, and again I'll put in a variable I pears equals, and I'll make it a 7. There you go. The next thing, I want to find out how much things cost. I'll say set the cost of an apple, and to save me some hassle I'm going to make them all whole numbers as well, but basically it'll be like pennies. So I apple cost, and let's make it equal to 55. And I want to have some sort of cost for the pears. Set the cost of an apple, yeah, a pear. Just get that right. A pear. And I'll do I pear cost equals, and give it a value of 50. I'll make that 55, yeah, and I'll make that 45. Slightly different. There you go. Now, what I'd like to work out is a few things. I'd like to work out how much fruit I used. So work out how much fruit was used, right? So I need to come up with some sort of variable name for this. So we'll say I fruit used, I suppose, equals something. Now, if you look at in your head, you can see there's a 7 and there's a 5. You could add them together and get the answer in your head and just type it here. You could, but why would you? What you do instead is, you've got variables to remember where things are, the 2 places there. Use those variable names. There you go. What I've done here is, I've implemented a bit of arithmetic. So I've not said 5 plus 7, I've said I apples plus I pears. Right? So we're looking through the places in the computer's memory, all its variables to figure out where these 2 things are. So it looks for I apples, it knows it's a 5, and then looks for I pears and knows it's a 7. Now that line there, and instantly we've done it, that line is actually algebra. It's complete algebra. When you went to school, you were told you had to do arithmetics and maths, and algebra was included in this sort of thing. Well, programming languages all make use of algebra. That's like saying A equals B plus C, except to use better names. You know, I'll put a comment in there just to remind you. It's like A equals B plus C, or algebra. That's what it is, it's algebra. You'll find that a lot in computer programming. Next thing, I want to find out how much certain things cost. I want to know how much the fruit costs, so I'll see what I'm going to do next. This is my list of things I need to do, my different tasks. Work out the cost, I suppose, cost of the fruit. Now, this is where the maths becomes a bit more complicated. I fruit cost, there's a good name, equals something. Now, to work out the apples, I could say this: I apples multiplied by its cost, I apple cost. Right, that's basically saying 5 times 45. That would work out the price of the apples. Right, the actual full cost of them. But I also want to work out the ones to do with the fruit. So let's put the fruit in. I fruit, no, not fruit, sorry, pears, I'm saying fruit. Pears, I pears multiplied by I pear cost. Now on the face of it, that makes sense. I'm going to work that out. and then I'm going to work that out as well, and they both get added together. But remember the rules about BODMAS. Things have to happen first, right? So I want to make sure I do things the right way around. I'm going to use brackets to ensure that. So I'm going to put some brackets here. That happens there. This also happens there. And you find that in coding, in any language, you tend to put brackets in to ensure the maths happens in the way that you want it to happen in. Right? So I'm saying here, take all the pears, get the cost for them, multiply them together. Same with the apples, and add them all together and call that fruit cost. Right? Next thing, I want to work out a couple more things just to be fancy. Work out, what will we work out? Work out how many pounds. Yeah, that seems complicated, doesn't it? How do you work out pounds from pence? It's quite straightforward when you think about it. If you know there's 100 pennies and a pound, right? So imagine I had, let me see, 900 pennies. How do I turn 900 pennies into £9? Well, all you're really doing is dividing by 100, because 900 divided by 100 is 9. Right? So let's do that just now. So fruit cost, and I'll make it short. It's quite a lot of a big variable name. fruit pounds. There you go. Fruit pounds equals. Now what I can see is fruit cost, right, divided by 100. Okay. Could work, might work, who knows. I think it's time to start showing some answers on the screen now. So I want to see how much, what all these values come to. I'll use some print commands. The fruit used is, and then, now remember this will be some sort of whole number, so you have to use the str on it, str. I'm going to say fruit used. And I want to see what happens when I hit F5 on that. Fruit used is 12, so that worked. Next one, print, we'll do the cost now. The cost of fruit is, and again str to make sure it appears as a string, fruit cost. There you go, and save that, bring it back up. 610 apparently. Now 610 to me makes me think that the pounds must be 6 then, so print the cost in pounds is, I'll put a pound sign in to make it look better, plus make sure it's a string value, so convert it to str, fruit pounds, then save that. Look what happened, 6.1. So it's done the maths and realised there's a fraction or there's a floating point in it. Now I don't want to see floating points, I want to just see the pound value. So the best way to do that is to take what you've got there worked out and use int on the value and then use str to see it. So int makes it into this whole number again. So the cost in pounds is £6. Does that make sense? What else can we work out? I've noticed there's a spell mistake there. How about work out the pounds and pence and make it look like numbers, like proper money type thing? Yeah, let's do that. So another one here. How do we work that out? Yeah, I think that should work. So we know some values here. I'm going to do a little bit more maths. If you don't mind though, I'll put the maths up above the print commands. I could do it down here and then continue on, but I like to keep things in order, so I like to make variables near the top of the program when it starts, do all the kind of calculations in the middle, and then do all the outputs to the screen or wherever it's going to go to at the end. So I'm going to call this, we know the pounds already, fruit pence equals, now this will be tricky looking. Yeah, I think I can do this. Now, we know certain things, right? We know that the pounds value, etc. So I can do this, fruit pounds, which is really 6 when we did the example there. If I multiply that by 100, I turn it back into 600 again, right? Now I know that 610 is what was there, so how